In misty Germania, proud tribes lived by rivers and forests, forging weapons by firelight. Children listened to myths, warriors prepared for survival, bound to their wild and untamed land. Roman legions marched north, armor gleamed, banners with golden eagles soared. Drums thundered as they advanced, believing Germania's forests would soon fall under the might of Rome. But hidden in shadows, Arminius prepared betrayal. Sword raised high, he signaled warriors among trees. The trap was set, and Rome marched blindly into doom. Suddenly trees crashed, arrows rained, thunder roared. Germanic warriors attacked with fury, spears piercing, axes falling. Roman formations broke in mud and storm. 3 legions destroyed, golden standards toppled in swamp. Panic, screams, shattered shields. Rome's pride drowned in Germania's defiance, forever scarred by defeat at Teutoburg Forest. Night fell, bonfires lit the forest. Warriors raised shields, drank from horns, sang songs of triumph. Freedom and pride echoed in flames of victory. At dawn, silence returned. Corpses, broken weapons, fallen eagles littered the land. Germania, though without a kingdom, proved its strength against the empire's might. Centuries passed. Tribes migrated deeper into Roman lands. Wagons crossed rivers, cattle dragged loads. Rome burned, statues toppled, cities fell into chaos. In 476, the Western Roman Empire collapsed. The last emperor surrendered his crown to barbarians. The old order was gone, a new Europe began. From turmoil, Chlodwig I rose, a warrior king, uniting the Franks with sword and strategy, forging strength from scattered tribes and fractured lands. Chlodwig embraced Christianity. In a candlelit church, he bowed his head in baptism. Priests blessed him, faith bound people to their king. Rivers filled with white-robed believers. Bells rang across valleys, wooden shrines replaced by stone churches. A new faith united the tribes under one destiny. Frankish cavalry thundered across green plains. Banners snapped, armor shone. The kingdom's might echoed across Europe, reshaping history with steel and faith. Villages grew into towns. Stone cathedrals rose above marketplaces. Mothers held children as bells rang. Life changed, hope grew stronger with every dawn. East Francia emerged, seed of medieval Germany. From Rome's ruins and new faith, the roots of a nation took hold, destined to shape Europe's future. Charlemagne rose as a mighty king, riding proudly, his golden crown shining. Behind him, endless armies marched, carrying banners across rivers, mountains, and plains. Under his rule, castles rose, cathedrals reached skyward, villages thrived. The realm of the Franks grew vast, uniting tribes into one powerful dominion. In 800 AD, at St. Peter's Basilica, the Pope placed the imperial crown upon Charlemagne. Rome's legacy lived again through his reign. Crowds filled the city, bells thundered across Europe. His coronation marked the rebirth of empire, echoing power across lands once ruled by Caesars. But after his death, unity shattered. The empire cracked apart, leaving his throne empty, crown resting in silence, candles flickering out. The map divided into 3 kingdoms. East Francia emerged as the root of medieval Germany, carrying the seed of a future nation. Heinrich I of Saxony rose, strong and resolute. He united lords under his banner, forging stability where chaos once prevailed. Otto I, his son, went further. Crowned with golden light, he restored imperial glory, binding lands together under the church's blessing. In 962, the Pope crowned Otto emperor. The Holy Roman Empire was born anew, shining as Europe's center of faith and power. Knights rode across the Rhine, armor glinting, banners flapping. Their presence embodied strength, defending realms under imperial might and divine sanction. Yet power fractured. Princes gathered around tables, forging secret alliances, each seeking control. Suspicion spread, weakening imperial unity. Markets bustled with merchants, coins clinking, fabrics bright. Towns thrived under fragmented rule, prosperity flickered amid division. Castles rose on mountains and rivers, each flying different banners. Germany became a mosaic of lords, each ruling their own domain. In monasteries, monks bent over manuscripts, candlelight flickering. They preserved ancient wisdom, keeping learning alive through turbulent times. The empire stood tall in name, yet fractured in reality. Banners flew, but true unity remained out of reach. Battlefields smoked, drums thundered. German armies clashed, torn by rivalries. Division defined the realm, even as faith bound it together. Thus, from Charlemagne's glory to Otto's empire, Germany's story unfolded, a land vast, divided, yet alive, shaping a nation's destiny across centuries. Germany under Habsburg rule, mighty castles, nobles in silk robes, bishops in golden vestments. Faith dominates daily life, power rests firmly in emperor and church. But change stirs. In Wittenberg, Martin Luther steps forward, hammer in hand. With courage, he nails his 95 Theses to a cathedral door. Crowds gather to read his words. Merchants, peasants, nobles whisper of hope and rebellion. A spark ignites, echoing across towns and valleys. Revolts erupt. Peasants armed with pitchforks and torches rise against lords. Smoke and fire sweep fields. Cries of anger shake the countryside. Armored knights ride in, banners raised. Clashing steel silences rebellion. Blood stains the land, the uprising crushed beneath the empire's might. Luther stands before princes and bishops. Scrolls lie open, judgment declared. Calmly he refuses to recant, his faith unshaken against the empire.
We cannot allow this division.
New Protestant churches rise. Simple wooden altars replace golden icons. Sermons reach common people. A faith of words and scripture spreads swiftly. NH. Catholic rituals remain grand, incense filling cathedrals. Two visions of faith divide towns, villages, and families, splitting the heart of the empire. Princes debate in candlelit halls, some siding with Luther, others loyal to Rome. Suspicion grows, alliances fracture, the empire trembles on the edge. A map of Germany glows with colors. Protestant and Catholic lands split apart, red and gold boundaries scar the once mighty empire. 1618, Protestants storm Prague Castle, officials hurled from windows. The defenestration ignites a war that will consume Europe for 30 years. Armies march across muddy fields, banners raised, muskets gleam. Men pray for victory as drums echo, preparing for faith and empire to collide. Villages burn, families flee with carts, smoke darkens the sky. War spares no one, faith becomes fire tearing lives and homes apart. East Francia emerged, seat of medieval Germany. From Rome's ruins and new faith, the roots of a nation took hold, destined to shape Europe's future. But war drags on. Fields lie in ruins, churches shattered, peasants starving. The empire bleeds, and unity becomes a distant, fading dream. Duke Albrecht embraced Protestant faith, reshaping Prussia's destiny. His choice marked a turning point, binding religion and politics, and planting seeds for Prussia's rise. Prussian knights drilled with unmatched precision, spears aligned, armor gleamed. Their discipline forged a reputation that would define a new military power. Castles of Brandenburg stood tall at dawn. Black eagle banners waved against morning light, symbolizing strength rising in fractured German lands. Markets bustled with merchants, ships docked with goods. Prosperity flowed through Brandenburg and Prussia, fueling both power and ambition for growth. Friedrich William, the Great Elector, commanded soldiers with iron will. His stern gaze earned loyalty and fear, shaping Prussia's disciplined army. Marching drums echoed. Prussian troops advanced in perfect formation, steps united. Their discipline set them apart, feared across Europe's battlefields. In candlelit halls, Elector negotiated with Habsburg envoys. Maps, treaties, tense voices. Alliances forged, balance and survival against the power of France. French banners threatened borders, but Prussia stood firm. Soldiers prepared defenses, cannons loaded, alliances tested by storms of war. Fields scarred by conflict lay behind. Yet Prussia rebuilt with resilience, iron discipline, and determination, stronger after every battle endured. The Black Eagle emblem fluttered proudly in stormy skies. A symbol of Prussia's resolve, it embodied strength and ambition for greatness. 1740, Friedrich II, youthful yet resolute, ascended the throne. His coronation marked the beginning of a reign blending power, intellect, and ambition. Berlin salons glowed with candlelight. Poets, musicians, philosophers thrived under Friedrich's patronage, sparking a cultural renaissance that shaped German identity. Studying maps of Silesia, Friedrich plotted war. Generals gathered, drums beat. The king's ambition prepared Prussia for bold conquest. BNMH. Cannons roared, cavalry charged, Austrian banners fell. Prussia triumphed, announcing itself as a formidable force reshaping Europe's political balance. 7 years' war tested Prussia. Surrounded by enemies, Friedrich's army fought fiercely. Against impossible odds, victory and survival forged his legacy as the Great. Napoleon's armies stormed Germany, blue uniforms marching, drums pounding. Prussia fell at Jena, its proud soldiers defeated, the empire humbled under French domination. Berlin streets echoed with French boots. Flags of occupation hung heavy. Citizens whispered resistance in taverns, waiting for the chance to rise again. 1813, farmers, nobles, students united. With muskets and scythes, they rallied to fight for freedom, sparking the War of Liberation. Cannons roared at Leipzig, the Battle of Nations, smoke-covered fields as German and Allied forces struck, breaking Napoleon's once unstoppable power. Napoleon retreated, leaving broken cannons in mud. German banners rose proudly, hope returned, but unity remained only a dream. Europe's map fractured. Dozens of German states stayed divided, each prince clinging to power. The dream of one Germany lingered on. 1848 revolutions ignited. Crowds built barricades, waving red flags, demanding freedom and one united Germany. Streets echoed with chants of hope. But kings crushed the uprising. Soldiers stormed barricades, broken banners lay in mud. The dream of unity was silenced, not destroyed. 1862, Otto von Bismarck rose. Stern and determined, he declared, not by speeches, but by blood and iron, Germany shall be forged. Prussia struck Denmark in 1864. Cannons fired, snowy fields shook. Schleswig and Holstein captured, the first step toward unity achieved. 1866, Austria fell at Niggertz. Prussian rifles fired volleys, cavalry collapsed. North German states united under Prussia's growing power. 1870, war with France erupted. At Sedan, Napoleon III surrendered. German soldiers cheered, victory bells rang across Europe. 1871, in Versailles Hall of Mirrors, Wilhelm I was crowned emperor. The German Empire was born amid thunderous cheers and glory. Berlin transformed, factories roared, railways spread, chimneys smoked. Germany's industry surged, rivaling the world's greatest powers in steel and science. 1914, German troops marched west, spiked helmets shining. Trains carried soldiers waving farewell. World War I began, shaking Europe to its core. Berlin in the 1920s glittered with jazz, cabaret, and Bauhaus art. A cultural golden age flourished, though hidden cracks of economic trouble spread beneath the glamour. 1929 crash-shattered prosperity. Red lines stretched across streets, factories silent, despair etched on every face. Germany sank into hunger, fear, and hopelessness. 1933, torchlit rallies filled Berlin squares. Searchlights pierced the night sky as crowds stood in strict rows. Democracy crumbled, dictatorship seized absolute control. Blitzkrieg roared. Tanks thundered, planes screamed overhead, flags snapped in wind. Lightning were swept across Europe, bringing shocking victories in weeks. But on the Eastern Front, snow and fire swallowed armies. Stalingrad became a graveyard of soldiers, marking the turning tide of the war. Allied bombers unleashed firestorms. Dresden's skyline burned red, rubble buried families. Civilians fled through streets collapsing into smoke and ash. 1945, Berlin lay in ruins. Soviet flag rose over Reichstag. Silence spread. Hitler gone. Germany's empire shattered forever. The nation divided. East and West marked by barbed wire, maps, and walls. Families separated. Ideologies split one people in two. West Germany rose from rubble. Factories thrived. Highways stretched. Volkswagens rolled out. An economic miracle restored hope and prosperity. Meanwhile, East Germany marched in parades. Gray factories, red flags, and propaganda shaped daily life under communism's watchful eye. BNMH. 1961, Berlin Wall cut the city in two. Concrete blocks, armed guards, families crying as separation hardened into stone and steel. Two Berlins lived apart. Neon lights of the West contrasted gray silence of the East. A city mirrored yet divided. Protests erupted in East Germany. Crowds demanded freedom, clashing with police. Brave voices grew louder, refusing to be silenced any longer. 1989, the wall collapsed. Hammers struck concrete, fireworks filled the sky, strangers embraced in tears. Berlin was free at last. VNBNMH. 1990, Germany reunited. Flags waved, leaders shook hands, joy swept the Brandenburg Gate. A new nation rose, stronger from its past.
Resilient, always reborn.
Thank you and see you again.